Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So, Rob did a good job covering this last night, but I do want to add a few things, and we got some new updates from Elon and the team as well. This is certainly worthy of our time, and the importance of this cannot be overstated. To bring everybody up to speed quickly, Tesla Dojo is just its in-house, custom-designed supercomputer that's built for a specific purpose. In this case, training Tesla's FSD Beta and its neural networks, which of course requires training massive amounts of video data, and Tesla's Dojo is indeed modular. So rather than having to go to companies like Nvidia to buy GPUs, where the prices are extremely high right now, Tesla now has its own training system where the plan is to be more effective than any options that are available off the shelf anywhere else. And we learned last night that Dojo has been online and running useful tasks for a few months. So not only are we about to see Tesla's Dojo enter some higher volume production starting next month, but presumably it's about to actually start training Tesla's FSD Beta and all of that video data, which is exactly its intended purpose. We've heard in the past that Tesla's Hardware 3 will be 2 to 3 times safer than a human, Hardware 4 could be 5 to 6 times safer, and Elon was asked, will Hardware 5 achieve the 10 times safer than a human target? To which he said, that's my best guess. This is one of the reasons I tell people if you're on the fence and you have the ability to wait to get your Tesla, it may be wise to wait to acquire Hardware 4. And if it wasn't obvious already, as Tesla Dojo continues to scale and over time starts maybe replacing some of these NVIDIA GPU clusters, it's going to give Tesla much more freedom, eliminating that bottleneck of relying on a third-party supplier. Not to mention, over time, training that data faster, better, more efficiently at a lower cost because it's purpose-built. And don't forget, as NVIDIA's business continues to blow up on its own, it could be incrementally harder for Tesla to get the GPUs that it needs. Going from previously weeks to train certain datasets, maybe down to a few hours once Dojo is up and running, we could see Tesla's flywheel when it comes to FSD accelerate quickly. Simple explanation for Tesla's Dojo. We already know Tesla has the most real-world data when it comes to training for full self-driving of any company on the planet, and it's really not that close. Well, Tesla is about to pair all of that data by now also having the most compute power of potentially any company on the planet. At least that's the trajectory that they foresee over the next 1 or 2 years. And as we just talked about, that compute power is going to be very specifically designed to solve full self-driving. So when you pair all of that real-world data with all of that compute power, that's a very potent combination for solving full self-driving. That's part of why I want to be on the record now as saying I believe Tesla will solve generalized autonomy, full self-driving anywhere first, and no one else will be close. The only way any other company is going to have it near Tesla's timeline is if Tesla licenses their FSD. No one has the data, and now nobody's about to have the compute power either. Naturally, we get this article from Bloomberg today. Wall Street warning Tesla investors they're too optimistic about Tesla's artificial intelligence credentials. I would just say we'll come back to this in a few years, and I'm pretty sure this is going to age like milk. I do just have to point out Gary Black is saying Tesla may start licensing out its Dojo AI capabilities in 2024. Personally, I don't think so. This sounds like much more of a Dojo version 2 type of business line, and I think Tesla is going to be focusing on full self-driving first, using it for in-house purposes before it starts licensing any type of Dojo tech. And no, I didn't forget, I was just saving it for last, but everything we just talked about may also somewhat easily transfer over to Tesla's Optimus and solving for robotics. Ashok said Tesla has the perfect setup to solve robotics. Going over what we talked about, it's the best place for any engineer to be right now. And that tweet thread from the Tesla AI account yesterday, well, Ashok said the generative model featured here was just 2 engineers hacking for a couple of weeks. Elon has said he prefers the technical interviews, so I think it's time Elon sits down with Lex to give us an update on Dojo and the state of Tesla's FSD. For what it's worth, Lex is already on board. He said, I agree, Elon and I have been meaning to do another podcast for a while. There's lots of exciting engineering developments to catch up on. If you've been online at all the past 24 hours, you've probably seen that it looks like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon are both pretty serious about getting in an octagon and fighting each other, potentially in Vegas. Historically, Elon and Zuckerberg really haven't got along. Elon said Instagram makes people depressed, and he called Facebook lame, saying that he doesn't use Facebook and he never has, and he said WhatsApp, which is owned by Meta, can't be trusted. Then on the other side, we have Zuckerberg, who has in the past blamed Elon for failed SpaceX launches, and he's called Elon irresponsible for some of his comments that he made about AI. Hopefully, if this ever even happens, it's more of a celebrity exhibition, maybe for charity with headgear and safety measures taken, because honestly, we have to protect Elon's head at all costs. And I'm sure many of you would side with Elon's mom and her idea for this fight. And on pothole detection avoidance, Elon said, yes, that is coming. We prioritize safety before convenience. Elon also said actually smart auto wiper software releases in about 3 weeks, taking us to mid-July. Then he said our patented actually smart summon is probably a month or two after that. Glad to see they're still having fun. Most of you guys know me as the electrified guy, but previously I spent 4 years in the fitness industry. I'm telling you this because I've seen the depths of the supplement world, and well-intentioned people are getting bamboozled. That's part of why I'm eager to share the sponsor of this video, AG1. With Andrew Huberman on board as an advisor, AG1 is a science-driven nutritional drink with vitamins, probiotics, and micronutrients. As I've said before, AG1 has become a staple for Lex Fridman, and after following Lex for years, that tells me pretty much everything I need to know. Now, if you do check it out, watch these areas. First, your gut health. With pre and probiotics paired with plant enzymes, this should support digestion. If you're addicted to coffee, AG1 may be your answer to cutting back. It has rhodiola, B vitamins, and magnesium. Watch your energy levels. You may be able to avoid that caffeine crash. Watch your skin, hair, and nails. AG1 has biotin and zinc. So let's just say there are plenty of reasons I'm still such a fan. I just know that everybody is different. I have a new link. It's drinkag1.com/electrified, links below. You can go grab 5 travel packs and a 1-year supply of vitamin D3 K2 for free. Support the channel, yes, but more importantly, support your health. Win-win. We finally get an update on the Tesla nickel deal with Talon Metals in Minnesota. They just filed paperwork on Wednesday to launch their environmental review process. If everything is approved, then they can start supplying Tesla with nickel. The project is already facing pushback from the locals, talking about potential impacts on water resources and native communities in the area. The plan, if approved, would be for Talon to supply Tesla with nickel concentrate and smaller quantities of cobalt and iron from the mine over 6 years. Unfortunately, all of those talks about expediting the permitting process in North America have not come to fruition because Talon is hoping their mine's design will speed things up so that they could enter production in 2027. SJV Tesla on Twitter spotted 2 Tesla Cybertrucks being transported along the freeway.
The Cybertruck already has so many problems. I mean, look at this. They can't even drive themselves on the freeway. They're probably broken down with all kinds of problems. CGI, stupid truck.
I didn't really find anything exciting to share, but I know most of us are Cybertruck fiends, so wanted to at least pass it along. And this picture was shared on Twitter by SC Robinson of 2 Cybertrucks, both with a camo wrap. They're multiplying, and it could be the same one we saw previously, but yes, a round steering wheel. I don't know about you guys, but I am very ready for a Cybertruck spec event. In the latest Tesla stock note from Morgan Stanley, he said, "We have yet to see another OEM that's been able to rival Tesla with an EV that offers current attractive unit economics. The Tesla hegemony established in the West has made the company seemingly invulnerable to competition up to this point. Hegemony is really just leadership or market dominance." Adding, Tesla remains a must-own company in any EV portfolio. You don't say. We got JD Power's 2023 United States Initial Quality Study in terms of brand ranking. This is just problems per 100 vehicles. At the top of the list, you'll find companies like Dodge and Ram with the least number of reported problems from this survey. Scrolling all the way down the list, you'll find Tesla and Polestar bringing up the rear. Tesla and Polestar have the caret symbols next to their names and are essentially off the ranking list because Tesla has historically limited customer access to these type of surveys. More like protects their customers from these surveys. I'll have this linked below if you want to dive in on your own, but just so you know, the main takeaway is that a lot of these companies that are implementing the most new technology, the Teslas, the Polestars, the EV companies, along with the most driver assistance features, tend to have some of the highest problem ratings. One, because a lot of these customers aren't adapted to the new technology, and of course, it's just more things to go wrong, more error warnings, and things of that nature. This survey was based on data from 93,000 participants in their first 90 days of car ownership, both owning and leasing. Here we have it. Ford is about to get $9.2 billion from the government for its EV plans, mainly in the Blue Oval Agreement. That's the partnership between Ford and South Korea's SK. This would be the biggest government backing for a United States automaker since the bailouts in the 2008 financial crisis. So basically, taxpayers are going to be providing low interest loans for these projects. This money will be coming from the Loan Program Office that's dispersed about $33 billion over the past 14 years. But since the IRA passed, the total amount now available for lending through the LPO is around $400 billion. It should be noted last year, this office, the LPO, gave $2.5 billion to the Ultium Cells joint venture between GM and LG. I just find it interesting that so many people made such a fuss about Tesla getting $465 million about a decade ago that they paid back early. Now we have Ford getting almost $10 billion and GM getting $2.5 billion. Who knows if they'll pay it back, and nobody seems to say a word. So the purpose of this program really is to serve emerging companies trying to scale up new technologies. I would argue a battery factory really isn't a new technology, at least what Ford and SK are presumably working on. But I do understand the aim of trying to onshore the entire battery supply chain, which, yes, I know is crucial for the United States. Why do Ford and GM have Tesla to thank for these low interest loans? The department themselves said when we bet on Tesla, it was not in an enabling environment. That environment was one where people thought EVs had no place. Today, the reason people can borrow money for EVs is because Tesla is so successful. And I hope the LPO and all of the taxpayers don't have to learn the hard way that Tesla really is one of one. Just because they're successful with EVs does not guarantee anything for any other company. The Lordstown Motors story, which will undoubtedly make for an excellent documentary in the failed SPAC category one day, the founder and CEO Stephen Burns has now sold his entire stake in Lordstown. Just an absolute mess all around. Don't forget, check out AG1 linked below if you haven't already. I'm sure Lex would say the same. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.